Viewers, I'd like to start the show today by taking you back 4 months. July this year, 3 trains crashed in Odisha's Balasore. 296 people were killed in that accident. Many were injured. Cut to October, this very month, another deadly train accident, this time in Bihar. 4 people dead, over 90 injured. The Northeast Express moving towards Assam from Delhi derailed near Buxar on Wednesday, and preliminary investigation suggests that there was a fault in the track. Every person that is killed, remember, is a family destroyed. Every person injured is additional medical expense, pain, and anxiety. And the loss of taxpayers' money due to this accident is estimated at about 52 crore rupees. Listen in to some people who survived this accident.
रेलवे का ही थोड़ा कहीं ना कहीं कमी है जिसके कारण से ये साधन जनता को भुगतना पड़ रहा है।
गाड़ी 2 घंटा 8 मिनट कुछ लेट थी। अब इसको इन लोग कवर करते हैं। अब जब कभी स्लो चलाएंगे लेट कर देंगे और कवर करने के लिए स्पीड कम से कम 120 के आसपास होगी, तो हादसा नहीं होगा तो क्या होगा। मैं प्रशासन से ये कहना चाहूँगा, जो भी रेलवे कार्य करता है वह गाइड करे।
यहाँ पे अभी स्थिति दिखा रहा है कि अभी ट्रेन है और बुकिंग भी हो सकता है, लेकिन वहाँ जाने के लिए यहाँ पे अभी दिख रहा है।
आप इंक्वायरी में पूछे तो क्या बताया?
रद्द।
हमें कोई नोटिफिकेशन नहीं मिला है, जिसके कारण हमें बहुत ज़्यादा परेशानियाँ फेस करना पड़ रहा है। कम से कम हमें तो पता होना चाहिए, जब आ रहे हैं तो पता चल रहा है कि रद्द है, तो इससे क्या होगा बताइए। जो आया दूर से आया वो क्या करेगा।
Now, after the accident, what followed was disruption and chaos. As many as 40 trains were impacted today. Over 21 trains were diverted, while the rest were either cancelled or rescheduled. Many people at the Patna junction said that no information was given to them regarding these train changes, and some voices you just heard who said that they were unaware and they got to know that their train was cancelled only when they reached the railway station. Now, while the Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar announced a compensation of 4 lakh rupees to the kin of the deceased, the opposition hit out at the government for ignoring railway safety.
एक तरफ हम वंदे भारत एक्सप्रेस रोज नए वंदे भारत एक्सप्रेस का लॉन्च करते हैं और दूसरी तरफ हम सेफ्टी को दरकिनार कर रहे हैं। तो उम्मीद करती हूँ इन सब पैमानों पे जांच की जाएगी और जांच की जो रिपोर्ट होती है टाइम बाउंड मैनर में जनता के बीच पेश की जाएगी।
जिस तरीके से टेक्नोलॉजी उपलब्ध है और जिस प्रकार से हमारे संसाधन उपलब्ध हैं, तो न तो पटरियों को अपग्रेड करना भी आवश्यक है और साथ साथ ट्रेनों की कोलिजन वो न हो, टकराहट न हो, इसको भी सुनिश्चित किया जाना चाहिए।
4 का डेथ हो गया, 1 का रिश्ता यहाँ का है, बिहार वालों से लेकर बाहर का, और हम सब लोगों को मदद करने वाले हैं। आप जान लीजिए, हम सबको उसके परिवार को 4-4 लाख देंगे और जितने भी इंजर्ड हैं उन सब लोगों के लिए भी हम लोग 50,000 रुपया देने वाले हैं। अब बहुत दुखद है उसके लिए जितना भी काम, हालांकि है तो उनका घापन है, रेल का मामला है, लेकिन फिर भी जैसे ही पता चला है रात में ही सारे अधिकारी जगह रहे, हमको भी सूचना दे दिया था और एक तरह से देख लिया है।
Now, the rescue operations concluded this morning and efforts to restore the rail services are underway. But the question, unfortunately, remains the same even after 4 months of the Balasore accident. Why are obvious, glaring faults in our train operations ignored and our lives are put at stake? I take this to my guest tonight. I'm joined by Mr. Sudhanshu Mani, former GM at the Railways. And I'm also joined by Mr. Krishan Mitroo, Consultant, Disaster Management and Environment. Good evening and thank you very much to you. Namaskar. Thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now. First of all, Sudhanshu ji, to you, the preliminary investigation in this accident seems to be a fault in the tracks. What does it really mean? Help us decode, help us understand in simple language what this could really mean.
So I've also seen that preliminary report. So this is the basic report which is prepared by the senior supervisors of all departments. They sign off on the report, which is done based on the very, very preliminary investigation, measurements, and circumstances of the accident. It does say that there is some fault in the track, but I would not believe it straight away. I would like to wait for some more details coming up. Because there is another report going around, I don't know how official that is, which says that the route of the train was set for main line, whereas the train took the loop line, which points to a problem with signaling, or it could also be a problem with the track when there are two roads. That means train goes in two routes. So I will not venture to make a guess about the cause of the derailment. I think these are early days. We have to let the investigation proceed a little bit more before we can make any judgment about the cause of the accident. Yes, what is known is the train was coming at around 130 kilometers per hour, which is the permissible top speed. It was to take main lines, so it was perfectly all right for the train to be coming at that speed. And the accident had happened within the station limits. So even the statement of the driver that I read does not lend very much clarity to as to what happened, because he says when he was approached the level crossing, he felt some sound and the brakes were applied and so on. So based on the information available so far, I would not like to make a guess about the cause of accident.
Okay, whether it's the fault with the tracks or the signaling, the fact of the matter is that it is a problem in our system, and we need to rectify it and address it as soon as possible to prevent such tragedies. Krishan Mitroo, you wanted to make a point. Please go ahead.
Like my friend said just now, Sudhanshuji, it is very difficult to assess the cause of accident at this stage. But looking back at 4 months ago at the Balasore accident, sabotage cannot be ruled out. And here, there is a clear doubt, as expressed by Sudhanshuji, that a sabotage, the train coming on one line goes to another line, cannot be ruled out. However, I would attribute this tragedy to 4 possibilities. Number one is a broken track, which could be because of aging and lack of maintenance. Is it a cause because of lack of accident, or under the related track? The tracks are now rated for the speeds, because we expect the trains to be running at high speeds. And was the train put on a slower track when the train was a high-speed train, which is a very serious matter to be thought of. I'm sure the Board of Railway Safety will be able to assess in due course of time. And such accidents, accidents do happen, I accept. But at the same time, such accidents, I would call them avoidable accidents. Such avoidable accidents,
Mr. Krishan Mitroo,
there has to be...
Mr. Krishan Mitroo, you made an interesting point when you said that sabotage cannot be ruled out. What makes you think so?
My example of 4 months ago, Balasore. That's where I base my opinion upon. And today, with the situation, sir, please give me a little time. Today, with the situation where there is a lack of trust in a lot of organizations, in a lot of people, we need to be vigilant and extra vigilant, because anyone can strike anywhere unless at each stage of our movements we are vigilant. We cannot in any case rule out sabotage. Yes, material failure is possible.
Okay.
I don't deny that. But then here, if it is a material failure, then the blame comes to lack of maintenance.
Yeah. Okay. Sudhanshu
railway-
Mani.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Sudhanshu Mani,
Okay,
please
so,
go ahead. You wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to say something that Balasore was not a case of sabotage, although it was made out to be for some time. But later investigation showed that it was either cavalier working under pressure of work, a fault in the circuit which was ignored for 3-4 years, or slipshod working itself, whatever. But it was not a case of sabotage.
Sir, there are
it was
doubts.
slipshod
There
working
are
by railway
doubts.
staff.
There are still doubts. There are still doubts
Can I
on
complete,
sabotage.
sir? Can I complete, sir?
I differ.
Can I complete what I'm saying?
I differ.
So, okay, there may be
Please
doubts
go
in
ahead,
your mind, but
Sudhanshu
I've
Mani.
gone
Yeah.
through the CRS. I've gone
You're
through
an
the
expert
CRS
at it.
report, and I know.
You're a very senior person
No,
from the railways.
if you are interrupting, then I won't be able to take part. I'm sorry.
Please,
If you want me to speak,
one
let
line,
me speak.
one line,
Okay,
one
okay.
line,
Sudhanshu Mani.
one line.
Sudhanshu Mani,
One line.
please go ahead. Krishan Mitroo ji, let him make his point. I'm going to come back
Right.
to you, please.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, one can have a doubt. I don't have a doubt, having gone through the report and having gone through the circumstances under which a fault was going on the circuit for 3-4 since 2018. Then some slipshod working, many things combined to cause that accident. In this case, while I'm nobody to rule out sabotage, because that's a job of the police and investigative authorities, but I would say it is quite unlikely. Now, whether it was a track defect or a signaling defect, as I said earlier, it's too early to say. One thing I would add, although it may sound a little insensitive at this stage, the track record of railway safety has not gone down. You see, we used to, before 2000, let's say before last 5 years, the number of people killed in railway accident has come down from what used to be 400-500 per year to less than 50 last 5 years. Except that this year, this Balasore accident has totally spoiled that record. And then we have had another tragedy today. So I'm not gainsaying that this is a aberration. What I'm saying is, by and large, the track safety record has improved, and it has not happened by magic. It has happened because of certain measures. One of the measures was all the level crossings unmanned were removed. Now all level crossings are manned. That made a big difference because 30-40% accidents used to take place on level crossing. And number two, window for track maintenance was improved over the years. Nowadays, funds for railways is not a problem. What is the problem is execution of contracts, and more stress is needed for maintenance of track, improvement of signaling, new modern signaling equipment. All that is the need of the hour. That is definitely there, and I would say that.
And why
but
is
by and large,
that not happening, Sudhanshu Mani? Why are we not focusing more and more on repair and maintenance of, the basics of railways, of our trains? And, at that point, I want to refer to a study which was done by IIT Kharagpur back in 2011, where they said that train traffic had substantially increased in the Indo-Gangetic plain over the past 2 decades. And as a result, bulk of the train accidents happen in the high traffic region. When we have such reports, when we have such studies and results showing us that there is a vulnerability of the region to train tracks, there is an overload on our train tracks, which in turn affects and delays the maintenance and repair work. Why are we not focusing on that more and more? What stops us?
So as I said, yes, funds are not a problem. Government has made a lot of provisions for upgradation of railways. So funds are not a problem. Execution is. So more and more focus is required for infrastructural improvement. More focus is required for improving maintenance. I do agree with you. More focus is required in those areas.
Okay, Krishan Mitroo, let me come to you. You're somebody who also deals in disaster management, and therefore, for the benefit of our viewers, help us understand when we are caught in such a situation where there is a train derailment that has happened. What's the first thing to do? How do we save ourselves? What do we do to not just save ourselves, but our loved ones as well?
Is that a question?
Yes, Krishan Mitroo, this is
that
for
a
you.
question? Yes. I would say the first reaction should be, as I always say, as a consultant in disaster management, the best help is at the end of your arm. You are the one who are going to help yourself. Outside help will come much later. Now, we have to assist firstly ourselves and the immediate neighbor who are sitting left and right of us. And we have got to find a way to protect ourselves physically and then to get out of the disaster. And after that, we have to wait for the outside help here. But I would go back a little, and while we were comparing Balasore and today's accident, I still feel that Balasore accident had an element of doubt on sabotage. Well, whatever you say, the reports came out. We have to accept and agree to that. But Balasore accident, to my mind, after reading all the news and analysis and everything, I feel that was there's an element of sabotage. Here, in this accident, what comes to my mind is primarily lack of maintenance. We are in the stage of upgrading our railways. Yes, it is a long drawn process, it takes time, but nevertheless, we have to cope with immediate upgradation. India, let me tell you, is one of the largest railway network in the world. And to run and maintain such a large network with upgradation, with modifications, with modernization of all of this railway facilities in the world, it takes time. We have to bear with it. And well, if a train has run at high speed,
it takes time, Krishan Mitroo. We have to bear with it, but also simultaneously, there are talks, there are concerns about the fact that on the one hand, we have the Vande Bharat trains, our high-speed trains, and on the other, we are seeing such train accidents due to basics not being correct, if we go by what the preliminary probe says.
Shreya, that's what I'm precisely trying to say, that we are in a transitory stage of modernization from our earlier railway systems. This modernization of our railway tracks is taking time, and there is a very strong possibility that this train has run on a track which was not capable of taking that speed, or the very track was yet to be upgraded as far as its status and capability take. high-speed trains of that specifications, etc. So accidents do happen, and I do not deny that this is just a mishap. I would accept that.
Okay. Let me take my last question to Sudhanshu Mani. Sudhanshu Mani, like Krishan Mitroo said, that we are in the process of transition. There are a lot of new changes that are coming in, but then what's the way ahead? We want to modernize our railway network. We are moving towards a modern system where our trains are operating, but we also have the older tracks, the ones that need repair, the ones that need maintenance. We can't completely one day, do away with them and bring in the modern system. We have to take that along as well and modernize it eventually, gradually. How do we go about that process?
So let me make 2-3 points. First of all, as for the cause of the accident, I very clearly said it will be very, very premature to make any guess. Number one. Number two, it's not as if we have moved into some great high-speed era. 130 kilometers per hour operation is with us for 40 years. It is not something which has happened today or 5 years back. So it's definitely the number of trains and load on tracks has gone up. And therefore, infrastructural improvement is required. And we come back to the same thing. Yes, more focus on infrastructural upgradation and also maintenance would definitely yield more results. And the safety record of railways, which was pretty good in the last 4 or 5 years, can be brought to that level and improved further, barring these two accidents. It's not a case of panic anymore. Yes, we must go with that focus.
Yes.
All right. Let's hope we, reduce, in fact, completely not have such train accidents in the future, hopefully, and, lives are saved when our basics are, rectified and corrected. But thank you to both of you gentlemen, Krishan Mitroo and Sudhanshu Mani, for joining us tonight on Mirror Now and helping us understand the situation a bit better. Namaskar. Thank you very much. Let's shift our focus